What's up, Army? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Curtis.
I'm Zach.
I'm Jarek.
I'm Mary J. Duzalaki.
Leroy Jones. Batch. Kenneth.
The little vibes. Y'all see the picture? Y'all see the thumbnail? Y'all know why y'all here. BTS, we are Bulletproof, the Eternal. I'm not bulletproof. I have a soul and a heart. So, could y'all find it in your heart to hit the subscribe button and become a real redeemer today? Also,
Words are just like bullets.
and I let them go straight through me. Also, for more bulletproof content, jump into Patreon. It's a fun place. All the Jimmy content is up there. The Jimmy Kimmel stuff is up on there. The album, was it? I feel like it's Kimmel following.
That's going crazy. Okay.
All the Jimmys. all the Jim and the Jimmins are all up on there. The full album review for Face, the Sechita stuff is up on there. Hive Games, In the Soup, Bon Voyage, Run BTS, live performances, Mamas, MMAs, Golden Compass, all that good stuff.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Golden Disc, I'm sorry. Golden Compass is a good movie. But yeah, no long talk. I don't know too much about this. I just know this was for the 2020 FESTA, believe, when like COVID was going around, so everything was kind of all MV formatted and stuff like that.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm jumping into this blind.
I wonder if they have Suge for this, because I know he got his surgery during the COVID stuff.
I think this is animated, so I think this may, you know what I mean.
I got you.
So, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, you was here with the Tiny Toons. Oh, shut up. Is that RM? Reflection. JK.
Fire in the back.
V.
Don't wanna die, but so much pain, too much crime. So move the genie color. We were only 7, but we have you on the 고백하며 분위기에 이렇게 붙잡은 손끝에.
Oh my God. They put him in a bus.
All these references.
부정적인 시선에 맞서 우리는 나쁜 기억 많은 션도 다 호기롭게 우리 망하는 Bulletproof 내 생각처럼 아직 꿈속인 건 아닐까 길었던 겨울 끝에 온 게 진짜 봄일까 모두 피웠던 한참 부끄럽던 여름 이건 새로 변신 너 Bulletproof We were only 7
Blood, sweat, and tears. Not today.
다시 멈추지 않을래 여기 우리가 함께이기에 Tell me why you don't stop this Tell me why you still walking with us Yeah, we can do it
JK's voice is so breathy. That's the Dynamite Ladies. And that was actually like Boy in Love.
That was pure sin.
Make sure you guys are subscribed. Jump in the comments and let us know if you cried watching this. This this definitely had like a lot of Easter eggs in it as far as like, you know, previous videos from like BTS. Even here with the early reflection, you can look at him looking at himself from No More Dream to probably right now to whatever the current MV was for there.
Literally the reflection, the school bus.
Yeah, the school bus was a No More Dreams like reference, fire right next to it. This was a lot going on. I heard you catch the Wayland 52 joint as soon as they jumped on the well. Yeah. That looks like for during that from that era
when they're in the schoolroom.
Yeah,
definitely the autumn leaves and everything too, as the seasons are changing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say Microcosmos, if I'm not mistaken, too. Possibly Magic Shop.
Yeah,
could be off on that one, but
yeah, the schoolroom looked familiar too. And here, I seen like the Not Today reference and stuff. That looks like the hallway too that they was walking on the other MV when Jin bagged the girl.
I believe Jump. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Jump too, if I'm not mistaken, or it was either Jump or We On, if I'm not mistaken, when they're in like the train subway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was a lot. Like
it
was so many references on here and like kind of so many things, and just it's almost like they were walking through the trials and tribulations of everything they went through from debut up until now. But I'm gonna let everybody else talk. This was a banger though. The song sounds like something that should be like performed live. Can't wait to jump on the Patreon and like get a chance to see the live version of this. But this was dope. This is a download too.
No, I really, really enjoyed this. It was obviously just so adorable and cute. Whether this was a video game or an anime cartoon, I would definitely play or watch it. But other than that, the seriousness behind it, it really, you know, was sad. You know what I mean? And it just being in this animation form, I feel like just hit so much more. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm definitely would download this. Definitely.
I'm trying to get us. I want me and Zach were supposed to be doing that. I'm trying to get somebody to make versions of us like that, whether it's for our intro or for merch or for other stuff. Like we can all have little chibi versions of ourselves.
This, I don't know if you guys ever like if you have Disney Plus, but like they have like this section of like 5-minute stories, and they're all lessons and like really sad. Like I actually was crying on some of them, and this kind of reminded me of it. And
is that the joint with the boy? Like, what's that called? Boa with the rice ball thing?
Yeah, there's one on there like that.
Yeah, I remember.
There's one on there with a girl with autism. Like it's really deep, like really, really deep. But I enjoyed this a lot.
This is definitely a banger. This is that pain music. You know, they talk about a lot of struggle in this. I like that, you know, that they are not afraid to be vulnerable and just let out the realness sometimes on an amazing, like, produced beat. Like, the song was amazing. The vocals carried. They did some runs, absolutely phenomenal. But I think RM did a great job. His verse was solid. Came into his thing. You know, he was the backbone of the song. You know, when there's something sad, you always need like that nice verse that just wraps it up tight. You know, it wraps up all that emotional distress that you're feeling. As far as the video goes, it was cool, but I was really lost in, you know, the song. Like, that was actually a bop. You feel me? I like how they put that together. You know, everybody did what they were supposed to do. Shout out to them for sure. Vocal line carried. Whoever was rapping, they did their thing, of course. Personally, I think RM had the best part. I'm glad they did it this way. I wouldn't be interested in a live action of this song. I would like to see them perform it live, but I think this was the perfect way to like make an MV for this. That was nice. That was very enjoyable.
Redeemers, let me know if the person that did this is the same person that did the Make It Right. I thought the Make It Right animation, just because it seemed like these songs might have been not so much like back to back, but I think these are both on like Map of Soul 7.
Yeah, I believe.
And if this is 2020, this would have been kind of right after Make It Right at the tail end of 2019. So I was just wondering if like the person that did the animation style for that did this as well.
I would believe so, at least.
Definitely love this song. Song is very powerful. Like you guys said, definitely like the Easter eggs throughout the whole video. That just adds another key component to the video, makes you more interested in it, and then makes like the song makes you want to get into it even more. The characters, I like them a lot. They're very accurate in my opinion, even in cartoon ways. Like they're not overly accurate, but they're like in a cartoon way accurate. Yeah, like I said, the song is very powerful. Strong song. It's already downloaded. One of the songs I have downloaded. Yeah.
That part actually looked dangerous. When the wind was like cutting around so much, it looked like it was about to cut him and shit. Then it spun back around.
I love Easter eggs, whether it's in movies or in music videos. I feel like when Easter eggs are like, and obviously a music video or a movie, I just feel like they cared just a little bit more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they actually took the time to really do that. And I don't know, I just find that really decent. Especially when you have a fan base that's going to notice certain things.
Yeah, it's wild how like their old selves are the ones that look like they're going through more struggle than their new selves. Like Arm, damn near his old self drowned at first. Like, but they're bulletproof, so they came back.
This is a good song, and like when it came out in 2020. So yeah, given the time, this is a really good song. But even after that, it still fits. The concept was cool. I like the animation. I think I agree with you. It would probably be best kept as an animation. Even though they could do a live action version of it. I don't think it would hit the same way though. But still good. Like this was one of those where like the song is really dope, but then like you're still watching the animation. Like it keeps you engaged, which is nice. But it still felt like sometimes like you get animations and they kind of miss on certain things. It still felt like it captured like the energy of the group and it held up. So yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah, this honestly was incredibly beautiful. I mean, you can't say enough really about the animation and everything. So just to briefly touch on like the song itself and everything, knowing that We Are Bulletproof was such a rap centric song and everything, and it was their debut, and that's kind of what a little bit of at least what they were intended to be, a rap group, from the start. And for the kind of reinvention, I want to say, of this song, for this project particularly. For them to, really have the vocal line out in the forefront for this and having the incredible, whether you want to say layering, harmonizing, doubling up vocals, vocal runs at the end, all those kind of things. Like the vocal line just, put so much emotion behind everything that was in the rap verses that, that RM, Suge, and J-Hope were, portraying as well. And I just thought that was really great. But it's also like when you pair the emotion of what every song is that they're referencing, it takes on so much of a deeper meaning than just beyond an Easter egg. Like it's, of course they started out from the journey of kind of, where they came from and struggling with the reflection. We know Arm's, song Reflection. And, you go all the way, through the eras kind of, so to speak, you get up to No, and I believe, well, I'll save that for the end. But basically, when they're kind of going through all those things, it's like, the things that kind of took them to where they are. And then, when obviously, like, something that's at least meant to, I believe, be representative of the pandemic and everything kind of shatters everything. That's when you see the glass break and kind of everything cripple around them. They're so strong because of Army and everything when they're saying that we were only 7. Like, basically everything about us was what you made us, and vice versa. Army says the same thing in reciprocating that love and affection and energy to BTS, of course, but basically, them saying that we are only 7, that it's really you who kind of are, the strength behind us, and we know they've always kind of stood behind that notion, but even so, it kind of hits a little bit more when they're talking about like how broken they were, so to speak. And I know we touched a little bit on that with Jimin's album review when he was touching on some of the stuff that he was going through with the pandemic, and how hard those times were, and kind of the coping mechanisms and things of that nature that they had to go through. But basically, when you get that shattered glass and everything, and you see the literal glass shards kind of being thrown, basically stabbing at you. So I just thought that was a really great kind of powerful metaphor of like your self-image, like really like being that aggressive of attacking you, I suppose, or you're like that against yourself that they make it shards of glass like weaponized. So I thought that was really cool. And then when he sinks into the water, like the bottomless kind of pit, so to speak. You see like the air bubbles of like water, but then it turns purple, which is literally meant to represent Army, of course. So then when those bubbles rise to the surface, you're essentially in a purple ocean or a purple sea. And I know Sea was one of the hidden tracks that was specifically for Army, and Purple Ocean, I believe, is what they refer to as when you're in the crowd of Army. I know they said it to us at Vegas.
They said it to us at Vegas.
So literally putting him in Orange Ocean, basically saying when I'm in front of everyone, when I'm performing, this is when I feel myself, when I'm free. And having them, exit the gates like it's like a jail gate, but that's also a reference to Young Forever, which, as we know, Army sang to them during a particular performance that was really emotional. Mm-hmm. And I know we've seen that on the Rise episodes and everything. The I Need You, which is, one of the biggest songs that kind of changed the tide for them. I Need You, they say girl in it, but that was an ad-lib when they were talking about Army. So basically the way they're sequentially kind of layering that to like the story they're telling just within the message and the references behind that is incredibly strong. And then, to take them to like the, up in the clouds, so to speak, when they're on, the highest of the high from, being in a bottomless pit essentially, and then kind of having it to where, they match cut that high-rise building, so to speak, with a stage, and then kind of all the lights that are meant to be microcosmos as far as, the galaxies and everything that, Army's power and love can represent to them. So when it like surrounds them and everything and they're up in the stars, it's, a lot more powerful. And of course, Wailing 52, that message that it comes to represent, that, you're at the highest frequency and everything like that. So that reference is just incredible. And then to lastly tie it together when they basically have the gates of heaven, so to speak, as they say, we're in heaven basically when we're on stage, when we're with everyone. Having the literal gates of heaven, so to speak, be the We Are Bulletproof sign. I just think that's really incredible. And, imagine what they must have been facing like in the pandemic itself, where it's like, our whole resounding kind of motto was that we are bulletproof, and then something comes along and really breaks you. You might perhaps feel like a liar, or you might feel like, you're not living up to kind of that notion of what you're supposed to represent. There's millions and millions of people looking to you to be their inspiration, to be their help, as we get, Dynamite, Permission to Dance, Butter, that era. So we kind of know everything that they were, going through, at least that they've kind of portrayed to us. So knowing that they have to represent that and then still kind of cope with, healing themselves, again, how well that ties in with Jimin's album and everything. But yeah, and the animation that went into this, to have all those different elements laid out is one thing, and it's incredibly powerful. But the way they match cut it in between each setting and each distinct kind of art style to portray it, I mean, it was really just like a cinematic, like, experience in and of itself. And the emotion behind it was equally as powerful.
Yeah, this is fire. This is like you said, to my synopsis real quick, this really just this is a walk down the BTS timeline. Like you said, kind of just showing the humble beginnings of them, them literally keep saying we are 7, to the point now where this song is a love letter to Army. Literally, they are no longer 7. They have Army now, and they're not just bulletproof, eternal. Bulletproof. So yeah, it is, and I feel like this was like perfect. I agree with Jarek, especially with the subject matter. That like you couldn't have done this live. The closest thing to them doing this live is kind of yet to come. I feel like that MV might be a good embodiment of kind of doing the same thing in a live format. But I think this just kind of works if not just as well, maybe better, just because, you know, theatrically through animation, you're able to display more and drop more Easter eggs in there seamlessly than you probably would be able to do with a live MV. I feel like a lot of the text too also kind of helps further illustrate emotions and feelings that they want you to like have. So like I just thought this was dope as shit. The Easter eggs and everything is fun. This is one of those videos too where you'd be able to watch it 3 or 4 times just to be able to try to see if you missed something. So I thought that was dope. I'm good. I like this a lot. I can't wait to jump into the live version.
No, absolutely.
How y'all feel? Anybody else want to get anything else though?
Jump into the live.
Yeah. You want to add anything else, Mark?
I guess just the one part where, you know, when they're kind of like shoved into a box, which is like claustrophobia, the pandemic and everything, being cooped up and not being able to kind of really move or anything. I like that they kind of match it to be like an ice cube, and then they use that to pair with the, you know, the coldness of like kind of your emotions and everything. So I just think like, you know, the way they kind of conveyed those things artistically, you know, visual storytelling is also one of the things that stand out to me the most in kind of anything you're able to do. And the music, you know, I just want to say like enough about the music as far as like, you know, like the vocal runs and the rap and everything like that throughout here. This was just really powerful. I wouldn't be surprised if someone legitimately said this was like a top 10, top 15, you know, kind of track for them.
I'm pretty sure people cried to this. The box thing too. I also took that too as like, don't just put them in a box either, as far as like labeling them or.
They literally had to break out of this.
They broke out of it,
you know, that others had for them, and almost doing the same thing again, you know, with respect to, you know, everything they did post pandemic. It's really incredible.
Yeah, this is powerful. This was dope. I don't know exactly when. I feel like maybe not because it was a FESTA, so maybe.
I like that they had the FESTA table there too.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was kind of right before Dynamite. I wouldn't be surprised.
Last thing I was going to add too was when they were around the campfire, they had I believe it was Jimin and Tae kind of leaning on each other. The 95s, I know they're like really close and everything. We hear about, you know, V-Men and all. So kind of them having like a little moment like that. At least if I'm, you know, reading the animation correctly, I just thought that was like really sweet and like character, you know, kind of touching as well. Also could be a reference because, you know, they had like, you know, the countless moments around the campfire where they would like, you know, have messages to each other and everything. So if it perhaps was any kind of message or reference to that, then that would be, you know, even a deeper layer beyond that.
It's nice, man. These is one of them tracks that make you feel together and shit, especially during times where everyone felt separated. But yeah, if y'all aren't subscribed, I don't know what y'all doing, man. 75% of y'all watching this aren't subscribed. It's crazy, man. That's not BTS wouldn't want that. Also, if you like content like this, jump on the Patreon. Literally about to get into the live version of this. The Jimin album review for Face is up there. Everybody's album review is up there. Whether it's for J-Ho's project, for Jack in the Box, for Indigo, that's up there. In the Soup, Run BTS, Bon Voyage, all that good stuff. We love y'all, Army. We gonna holler at y'all. Peace.